Alright YouTubers, this is Marcus again. I just thought I'd make a quick video here. Well, it won't be quick. I'm putting the deck back on my Husqvarna LGT2554 riding lawnmower. I took the deck off so I could get to the blades because I needed to sharpen the blades. I'd hit a chain and put a few flat spots in the blades, and when it would get bogged down it would leave a strip. I don't know if you can tell, there's a strip up there that's a little bit taller than the rest of the grass. And I just thought I would take this opportunity to show you guys how to put it all back together here. I didn't take the belt off here. I left the belt attached. I just disconnected it from the drive pulley up on the mower itself. So, but this is the route that the belt takes. So this is the orientation as if you were going forward. This loop here is what goes around the drive pulley on the output shaft of the mower's transmission, and it goes back side of that one, around that one, over to here, over, under, and when it goes under this one, it goes behind this little guy. The only thing holding this on is this nut. This is just kind of a separator to keep where the belt gets close to itself here, to keep it from touching and rubbing. So you can just take that nut off and this will come off, because this is just an idler pulley here. Actually, that one is your tensioner pulley. Yeah. Alright, you got your tensioner bar here with the spring. This is open position. Normally when you're using the lawnmower, it's locked here. When you're reassembling it, you want to have it open so that there's as much slack as possible up here to reconnect it to the drive pulley. And then once it's slipped back over the drive pulley, you tighten your tensioner bar back up. Now you've got all of these cotter pins and washers are what hold the deck in place. They're all, except two of them, the same exact size, so it doesn't matter what order you put them back on in, as long as you remember which ones get big pins and which ones get little pins. The little pins and washers go on these bars here, and those bars, this shorter one here goes in the front, slides into that hole. It looks like I may have sheared off my shorter one. I left this one in since I was driving forward, and I may have to replace that. I'm not sure. We'll see. And this longer one here goes in the back hole right there, and they're kind of stabilizer bars to keep the deck from swinging backwards and forwards. Now you can't just slide the deck straight under the mower. You do have to kind of angle it a little bit, but I'll get it slid back in there and then show you guys how to reassemble it all here. I just wanted to make a quick caveat before I slide this back on here. The reason I took the deck off to remove the blades, I guess it would be possible to remove the blades without removing the deck, but there's some torque on them, and these pulleys are attached to the blades and they will spin, and so and this belt will slip if you put too much force on it. And so it only takes 5 minutes, especially if you've got another person to help you wiggle the deck out from under it, to disconnect the deck and get it out here. And then you can just flip the whole deck over and just wedge a screwdriver in at the base of the blade on the non-cutting part to keep it from spinning, while you just put a ratchet on the nut right there. You can see there's a nut right here that holds the blade on. You can just take any screwdriver and just put it in there, and that'll stop the blade from turning, so you can loosen and tighten this nut. I believe they're tightened. I used a torque wrench. The instruction manual said between 45 and 55 foot-pounds of torque, so for these bolts here. Now I don't know about yours, but when I take them off, it's rained, so the grease on the outside is a little yellow looking, but the blade pulleys, the actual blade pulleys, have grease plugs. I put about 5 squirts of high temperature grease in each one before I put it back in. Here's what I was talking about having a second person to help you wiggle it in and out, because let's flip these guys back over. These guys go forward here, and you see the wheel on the front there, on the point, hits that wheel, even though we're slid all the way back here. So you got to kind of pull back on it and come over on this side, and it's a little bit heavy. grab a hold of her and angle it a little more. And then, so I'll be back. Alrighty, so we've got the deck slid back into place. What I ended up having to do is just lift the front end of it and have my wife scoot it until the center wheel here was past there. So you want to have your deck level lever into set to the lowest position so that you ain't got to go lifting it as far to lock it into place. Alright, now assuming it's not slipped off any of your pulleys back there, might want to double check them. Looks fine to me. You're going to take the front drive belt here and slip it back over the drive pulley, and then you come back around here, grab your tensioner bar and lock it back into place. Alright, maybe give it a twist or two. Make sure that all the pulleys are going to turn okay. Sounds fine to me. A little bit of rubbing here on this idler pulley, but it's just got some dirt and a little bit of a spot rust here where I've had it out in the rain for a day. Now, you have this bar and this little nipple here on each side. The hole up here in the end of this bar will slip over the nipple that's built onto the mower itself, and then you'll have a washer and a cotter pin that will go over this nipple to lock this bar into place. Alright, this nipple here, you have these bar arms in the back. These are what's adjusted by the deck level lever. Alright, this slot is going to slide over the nipple that's on the deck, and then the same thing, a big washer and a big cotter pin. Alright, so I'm going to set you guys off here to the side for a second, because you got to lift the deck even in the lowest position. You got to lift it just a hair to get it to lock onto place. Well, let me see. I might be able to get it by hand. We'll find out. Set you fellas right there. Alright. Oh, there's that one. And once you get one of them in place, it's a little bit easier to get the rest of them. But we've got this arm, and we know that's where it's supposed to go, so I'm going to go ahead and lock that arm so that in the process of doing the other ones, it doesn't come loose. Alright? Washer. Big cotter pin. Now, if it wasn't already obvious, the process for removing your deck is the exact opposite of what I'm doing here, right? Now, to remove it, all you really need is a good pair of needle nose pliers, or a leather one. So that's fine. That ain't going to come off. So let's go ahead and get the other side here. Same kind of deal here. This arm needs to reach that nipple right there. So set this thing here for a second. Prop you guys up on a pull. Alright. There we go. There's that one. And then the same deal on this side here. You got it. Let me see if I can see. There we go. Got the arm locked in place. Big washer. And big cotter pin. And that one's done. So now you got an arm on this side. Now these arms, make sure that you can see the nuts because this end here has a slight bend to it, and you don't want that pressing into the deck there. You want the flat side against the deck here. So I might even be able to prop you guys up if it don't fall where you can see. Alright, we'll lift the deck, set it, and big washer and big cotter pin. Alright, same deal over here. So I'll get you propped up. Alright, pull this arm out. Alright, flat side against the deck here. Lift it. Oh, there we go. Where it's got them other three on there, it's starting to settle in. Big washer. big cotter pin. Well, there we go. That one was a little bent from me taking it off there. So now, alrighty, so we got what I have managed to do. The reason I was a little confused is I was a retard and I left my front control arm connected while I moved. I didn't think it would bother it, but I've managed to break the thing. But I'll go ahead and show you how to put everything but that on. Alright, so this is the big long one here. Looks like this. It's your rear control arm. Now there's a hole on either side of the deck. Mine came on the passenger side here, so that's the side I'm going to put it back on. You take this end here without the hole for the cotter pin, and you want it angled and pointed so that this little angled part with the hole for the cotter pin comes through this hole here from the inside. Alright, so you're going to take that little crook and you're going to get it in there, and then there's some teeth in it. You might have to wiggle it or twist it a little to get it past that crook. And then in here, you're just going to take that little hole for the cotter pin. Alright, I'd have to shove the deck a little bit that way, and it should protrude enough there to take the small washer and a small cotter pin and put her back in place. Alright, now what is supposed to happen is this last large cotter pin and large washer and medium-sized cotter pin and washer that goes with it. This is supposed to be your front control arm. Alright, what it does, I'll go ahead and show you so you guys can see. This hole here will slide through there, and then the upper end will slide through that hole to support the deck. But what I have managed to do in the process of driving it with it connected is to shear off the crook in the end of it, so that I cannot put the cotter pin in here to secure it. So, but that's how it works. And as it sits right now, we should be able to lower the deck and turn the blades on and test it. It might vibrate a little. I'm not going to mow with it, but we should be able to raise the deck up here. Alright, start her up. Go. Now I'm not going to attempt to mow with it without that front control arm, because as you can see, what's going to happen here is your back side is going to be higher than your front side, and so I want to go ahead and get the proper part to replace that before I actually use it to mow. Because you can see here, even though it's in the all the way up position here, the front side is still sitting on the ground. So, but anyway, I just wanted to make a video here to show you guys how to reassemble the belt, reattach the deck, and just give you a quick overview of how to do a little bit of work on your Husqvarna riding lawnmower. These instructions may or may not pertain to other models of Husqvarna lawn tractors, but you know, it's worth a shot. If you want the specific diagram for putting your belt back on, for example, if your deck looks a lot different than this one, just Google Husqvarna, your model number, user manual, and you can find the user manual from Husqvarna with diagrams on how to do just about anything you want to do to your mower. So if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, besides take off the control arms before you move the thing, after you disconnect the deck, you can leave them in the comments section below. And yeah, y'all have a good one.